Okay, we're back. Sorry about the Zoom malfunction and the internet disconnections. We both have unstable internet, which makes for a bad combination. We were talking about the difficulty of finding the right balance in getting social messages and commentary into a work of fiction. And I was just going to say what I learned from my editor was to be careful not to lecture the reader as the narrator, because they don't really want to hear your point of view on whether it's political or otherwise, but you can get your characters to debate the points. And sometimes the hero is probably the person you want to make sure he has the most appropriate commentary, and the bad guys can defend their point of view or why they think it's all right, whether it's a moral issue or otherwise. So sometimes it adds to the discussion of the dilemma and the conflict in the story if they're different behaviors and values and morality gets involved in the process. That's what I kind of ended up coming up, I think, with it added to the story. And I try to always have a little bit of historical background or location information, and without too much description. I'm not good at naming plants and animals and flora and fauna, but that's not my strength. But I do get a lot of technology stuff in, because my history in the technology industry allows me to comment on that. And this novel, not only my fourth one, Bad Boys in Boston, not only talks about human trafficking and the sex trade, but it also talks about hacking and cybersecurity, which is an interesting area and much more current. The first novels were all set in the 1980s computer business, and the current one is written in 2019 pre-COVID, which is kind of the other milestone we all now have to be aware of.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anna, but I'll let you wrap up and we'll conclude this conversation on crime fiction and social issues and how to deal with them both at the same time.
Well, I think before my internet crapped out, I think I was talking about, my publishers appreciating that part of my books, that as long as they're not overly didactic or agitprop, or as long as the writing organically examines these issues. And again, of course, you put maybe conflicting political ideas or opinions or experiences in different characters, and that's how the story moves along as well. So
right.
In The Dogs of Winter, I have a white later middle-aged woman trying to navigate what she sees as both casual acts of racism, but systemic racism against Indigenous homeless people in that particular part of Montreal. And she has to examine herself as well. I mean, she has to look at her own behavior and try to think of, where does she fit into that? How is she complicit? And how is she not? And, so I think as long as the characters are authentic and real, and they engage in, strongly held beliefs. And sometimes, like, in this book, there's a kind of old school, old dinosaur racist cop, and
Yeah.
There's plenty of racist cops in Montreal, and there's plenty of cops who aren't, because I've seen both of them. And
yeah, I dealt with the same in Boston. The police detective tries to defend the.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in black and white. And I've certainly had readers write to me and say, you have to come down harder or this, or